John's Skateboard Bants. Hi, welcome back to John's Skateboard Bants. I've got the old tracker t-shirt on today. It's a bit tight really, and it's a bit Andy McDonald, don't you think? It's not my colour is yellow really, but I thought, yeah, tracker for life. Anyway, what's been going on this week with me and skateboarding? I went skating on Sunday for an hour or so at Blackpool on the vert ramp. There was actually a young teenage girl who wanted to give it a go, which is fair play, do you know what I mean? A rarity to see another vert skater at Blackpool, but the ramp was dry. And yes, managed to do a couple of tricks. Now, we're not here to talk about bloody me going skateboarding. What else has been going on? Well, this week I've been listening to The Skateboard Show, which is a podcast and it's a YouTube channel, a friend of mine called Brett, and I've been listening to a lot of his podcasts on YouTube. What I do is I put it on, when I'm driving, I put it on YouTube, and when he has his like talk to cameras, I just put it on my speaker so when I'm driving, so it's like a podcast. But my God, I tell you, it's one of my favourites. I'm not big up in you, Brett, but it's instead of just a skateboard show talking about skateboarding and tricks and just generally skateboarding, Brett goes into the mind of it. He goes into the psychology and the philosophy of skateboarding. Quite deep stuff. Oh, really, really deep stuff. And check him out. Get him some more bloody views. What have we got? Oh yeah, bloody Tony Hawk. Bloody Tony Hawk. I've been listening to the latest Hawk versus Wolf, and he's been to Colombia to get stem cell treatment on his neck. Jammy get. Honestly. Wish I could go over there. My neck is knackered. It probably doesn't look like it, but I can't turn my neck to the left. Too many slams, too much whiplash, and it's knackered. I do exercise it, but it doesn't move. Hence, not making any bloody excuses, but I can't turn, and if I'm on the vert ramp, I can't turn front side, because when I try and turn front side, there's nothing there. There's no vision there. It's just like a blank space, and I can't spot a landing at anything on front side. But anyway, it's all right for Tony Hawk. He's been to bloody Colombia. Anyway, the main thing I'm going to talk about in this episode is going back to the Olympic qualifiers in Dubai. I've already had a bit of a rant about the park competition and the fact that it's in Dubai, and my little bit about Olympic skateboarding and the judging and stuff. But I've watched most of the street competition, the Dubai Olympic qualifying street competition. Now you know when the street skaters they had a vert fast forward button. So there was in the 90s, if they managed to God forbid give 2 minutes to a vert skater in a video, all the street skaters would be on the vert fast forward. Well, hang on a minute, I do that bloody with the street competition. So, you know what I mean, it works both ways. It worked both ways. Now, I did watch most of the street competition. Right, things of note. Right, where do I start? Okay, don't like the course. Don't like the course at all. I don't get it. Funny. I've never seen a mini ramp, a quarter pipe with a coping on the street. That's a bit unusual. Anyway, so on both sides of the course, they've got quarter pipes. They've got a flat bank as well, I think, whatever. But they've got quarter pipes. Now, this is how I think the street course should be in a pro competition like that. It should look like a bloody street, not like a bloody glorified skate park sort of attempt at looking like a street. Yeah, it's got handrails, and yeah, it did have some stairs. But what I'd have is proper street furniture. No quarter pipes. Oh, flat banks, but no, not transitions at the bottom. Flat banks, maybe put some banks with made out of bricks with a ledge on top. Oh, that would be bloody awesome. Make it a bit rough, put a few cracks in the concrete. Have some rails and stuff, but different size ones and have like some ledges and have some litter bins, chuck some litter around, have some bits of grass, have some massive bloody gaps. That would be awesome. I think it'd be just a hell of a lot more interesting to be like that. My other idea was to have it like you set off here and then the actual street course goes round like that, just on a slight graduate or on like step down, so you could hit multiple obstacles in one go, sort of like without. Yes, you knew I was going to bloody say that when they bail or they need to get more speed, they jump off the board and they grab the board and they do this little run. They do a little run on the top of the quarter pipe to get back in. Now, skateboarding to me has always been about sort of like not doing that, just trying to keep on your bloody board. Going back to a little story, when I watch these Olympic street skateboarders do their runs and they'll hit the big rail or something like that and they don't really use a lot of the obstacles, like what I've seen anyway. And the one guy who used to use every single little bit of a park, a street course, was R.I.P. the amazing Tim Brosh. I don't know if he's got his second name right there, but he was a Santa Cruz pro, probably in the late 90s. Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore, but he was an amazing skateboarder to use every single little bit of a street course. So he'd be using the quarter pipes and he'd be using all the blocks, and he'd even do like really obscure stuff off a wall or something. Tim Brosh, absolutely. If you don't know who that is, Tim Brosh, well, you will do. Just go and look at some old YouTube videos. He was an amazing skateboarder. Quick little personal note. I was in Santa Cruz about 1992 with my friend Rocker. Paul Robson used to skate for Deathbox. And we stayed at Tim Brosh's house because Rocker knew him a little bit. And we went out street skating with Tim Brosh. Red curbs, all the business. I couldn't do bloody nothing on it, but it was an amazing experience. So anyway, I'm off on a bloody tangent. I told you I was going to do that. Off on a tangent. But anyway, so the competitors in the street contest, they all look, to me, the same. They all skate the same. Very, very, very technical. I'm not saying they're not talented. Absolutely amazing what they do. But where's the style? There's no style in any of them. They just like all look like, well, a bit robotic for me. A bit robotic. But it would help me if they would use, like I said, going back to this Tim Brosh thing, if they use more of the course and really sort of like bomb around and not sort of get off the board and getting back on the board. But it is what it is. But there's one thing, it sounds like I'm having a bit of a slag off of the street skaters, but they've got one up on the park skaters. When the street skaters had a bail early on, instead of thinking, oh well, I can't, no point carrying on, I've lost my points now, a lot of them got back on the board and it was standard. Even if they bailed on like near the end, they'd all jump back on the boards and have another go at like a whatever 360 flip or whatever they were doing. And all respect to that. All respect to that. That's what they should have in the park contest. If they bailed, they should have had one rebate rule, but they just kind of pick up the board and they climb out of the bowl and they're all looking a bit sad. But I don't know. That's not the kind of skateboarding that I like to watch. But anyway, so mixed bag today, a mixed bag. So I thought I'll get one in this week. Okay, I think you've heard enough of me doing rants or bants. Anyway, I'll see you next time on John's Skateboard Bants.